Now they are saying that a computer has 6 tape devices and n processes, which means they are not saying how many processes are there and computing for the 6 tape devices. Each process needs 3 tape devices. Therefore, requirement by each one is 3. The maximum number of n for which the system is guaranteed to be deadlock free. So this question is given the resources, then they are asking how many maximum number of process can be present, therefore in such a way that there is no deadlock free, right? So given resources equal to 6 and there are 3 n processes and each process requires 3, right? And now they are asking what is the n value so that there will be no deadlock free, maximum n value. So what did I say? I asked you to find out what is the minimum number of processes required so that there will be deadlock. So once you find it out, then you decrease 1. If minimum number of processes required so that there will be deadlock is some number, then if you decrease 1 from it, then there will be no deadlock possible. That will be the exactly maximum number of processes for which there will be no deadlock. Okay, I'll just solve it. See, now we are talking about minimum number of processes required so that there will be deadlock. Then how can we find out? In order to find it out, you give the process as many as they need, but then hold 1 back, right? So let us say I don't know n, let me say n is a variable, and now I'll give each process, if they are asking for 3, I'll give them 2 each in such a way that all of them together are going to take up n into 2, which is equal to 6. Now if all the resources are over, right, and if every process has taken 2 resources each, every process will wait for 1 more resource and therefore they will fall in deadlock, right? And now n turned out to be 3. Therefore, minimum number of processes because of which there could be deadlock is 3. Then if I have anything less than 3, there will be no deadlock. Therefore, what is the maximum number of processes that can be present in the system without any deadlock? See, if I have 3 processes, there will be deadlock. If I have 2 processes, there is no deadlock. If I have 1 process, there is no deadlock. If I have 0 process, there is no deadlock, right? Now, what is the maximum number of processes for which there is no deadlock? Maximum is 2. What is the number of processes? 1 is also the answer, but then maximum number we wanted, that is by 2. Got it? Let's extend this a bit. What if they have given that number of resources we have is 9 and every process pi requires 3 resources, then how many processes can be present? If that is the question. Or let us say number of resources required is, number of resources we have is 8 or 10. Number of resources we have is 10 and every process requires 3 resources, then how many processes can be present inside this system at maximum so that there will be no deadlock, if that is the question asked. Is that part visible? And now let's see this. How to solve it is, first find out minimum number of processes which are required so that there will be deadlock. How can you find out? Let us say the minimum number of processes required is n, then assign for each of the process, if they are asking for 3 resources, assign exactly 1 less, which means for each of the process you assign 2 resources, and now let all these processes together take up all the 10 resources and then they will wait for 1 more resource and fall in the deadlock, right? And so minimum number of resources which are minimum number of processes which are required so that there will be deadlock is 5, which means if you let 5 processes get into the system at the same time with these requirements, there is a chance that they might get into the deadlock. So if 5 is going to lead to deadlock minimum, then anything less than that is not going to be deadlock. The reason is we are finding out the minimum number of processes required. Therefore 4 will not lead to deadlock, or 3 will not lead to deadlock, or 2 or 1. Any of these numbers of process will not lead to deadlock, right? Then out of all these numbers which are not leading to deadlock, what is the maximum value? 4. Therefore, if I use 4 processes, there will be no deadlock. This is the answer. Understood this? Fine.